Bloody hell, I'm getting piss sweat through. Hello and welcome to Box of Demons and welcome to Miscreated, a DayZ style survival, massively multiplayer PvP, surviving the environment, the evil, the night, the demons. Well, it's not quite like that, but it is a little bit like DayZ. It is it is very much DayZ's, I was going to say little brother or sister, but depending on which angle you come at this could either be a step up from DayZ or it could be a step back. The game's giving me a little bit of an Alan Wake vibe. I do like the lighting effects. Let's just see if we can find anything in here, and I'll then fill you in a little bit on what this game feels like to play and should you pick it up. Whoa, 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 whoa! Whoa. Whoa, mate, don't kill me, yeah? It's my very first game. I've only got a torch and a rock. I'm no threat, yeah?
I'm a demon, you don't want to fuck with me. Right? You listening, lad? Good job, mate. Good job. You don't want to get on the wrong side of me, pal. I'm Box of Demons. You alright, Snowflake? Don't go shitting your knickers now, yeah? It's all over, Nancy, now. You can go. See you later.
So, let's start at the beginning, shall we? I played Miscreated probably 2 years ago with some of the lads when DayZ was not really in a good place, and this game kind of filled that vibe of multiplayer survival game that you could just kind of chill out in, play together, and have a laugh out there. And there was many options to do survival, kind of base building and surviving the demons and the zombies, as it were. Although they kind of are a little bit more demonic in this game than they are in DayZ. One of the first things that hit me from rebooting this back up is the lighting effects are really, really kind of nice. And while DayZ's graphics are fantastic, there is a beautiful charm, I've got to say, about this game. Let's just have a look in here and tear off some rags so that we can make some rope. If you are into the DayZ aspect, you're probably going to feel quite at home here, or it is very, very difficult to, once you've got those memory for the keys, and all these keys are all completely different, it does take a while to get used to it. But as you can see, there seems to be a little bit of a Alan Wake, as I've mentioned before. I don't know why that is. An Alan Wake vibe. And also, some of the vehicles I noticed on my little test playthrough, some of the vehicles are wrapped in ivy and the skeletons and bodies are in the vehicles. It reminded me of The Last of Us, bizarrely enough. So what I'm actually doing right now is, yes, there is a vehicle there. Apparently there are motorbikes and there are all sorts of vehicles in here, a little bit like DayZ. You know the crap, lads. What I'm doing right now is I'm trying to get enough scraps to turn into rope, which I think is 6, and then I can get some sticks and make a basic backpack. But there is the same functionality on the views in here. The mouse scroll wheel, instead of in DayZ, I think I've escaped from Tarkov now. Yeah, we can move the camera in and out, so we can go first person and third. And the inventory key, which we're all used to in DayZ, is now on the C key. I'm actually playing on this server with, I think it was 70 players, but I did notice one of the servers, it looked like it was 80 players. One of my subscribers also recommended that I try a game called Rust. Well, if you're a Rust player, I'm sorry for what I'm about to say, but that community can go bollocks. Everybody told me that Rust community was toxic. And what a lot of these plebs don't realise is when a new player comes in and they ask a basic question, something they don't know. Usually in the DayZ community, the more experienced players will generally help the new players with simple questions and simple answers, that kind of thing. My first question in Rust was, how do I place a sleeping bag? And the first response, which I should have recorded really, was I got told I was a cunt. Get fucked, you lazy cunt, I think was the exact message. Go to Google like everybody else. Now, that lad's obviously got a few issues and having a bad day. But what these plebs don't realise is that your community stays alive and grows, and that way the devs are more likely to want to keep updating the game and supporting it with more players coming in. So telling new players to get fucked and fuck off and go to Google and alt-tab out when a simple answer would have been, you need 6 rags and so-and-so, so-and-so. Well, that put Rust, it put me off completely. And the other thing that also put me off was it was acceptable on most servers for the armed up guys in the full gear, machine guns, AKs, to kill Bambis, basically, just spawned in on the beach with no clothes. And I mean literally no clothes. No clothes, all you had was a rock. It was fully acceptable to go around and kill them. Now you could say, well, that's all part of the survival of the game, but you literally don't stand a chance when a guy comes down on a horse, gets off with a machine gun and blats you instantly. It's not the kind of game that you just think, do you know what, I want to stick with this, I want to learn the game, I want to learn the crafting system, and I want to enjoy it. Killing Bambis is absolutely refrained from in DayZ, and so far in Miscreated, from the couple of games I've played, there seems to be quite a few half-decent players out there. As you can see, the one we've just bumped into. So anyway, enough of Rust. It really, really did put me off. So here we are in Miscreated, and the game runs extremely well. I have got quite a beast of a PC, and the details are in the bottom below. I don't want to go too much into it, but I've got an RTX 2080 Ti and 9900 gigahertz processor, so most games are not too bad for me. Even DayZ struggles in places, and I've not had any frame drops in this game whatsoever, and there is quite an inherent beauty to it. I'm just listening because that sounded like somebody else's footprints, somebody walking about, but that could have just been the wind blowing on the tent. Now, what I'll hopefully will do further as we get into the game, we'll go into one of the town centres, and from looking at footage of players who are quite experienced in this game, there seems to be some quite interesting locales, such as bunkers and laboratories and factories, that have a lot more detail, from what I can see, than a lot of the environments in DayZ. We also have a kick mechanic, and what I need to test is whether we've actually got the vaulting mechanic. Please Batten. Let's just check whether that has got more of a hit stat. So we can come here and have a look, and we'll have a look at the crafting system and see if we can craft some basic elements. This would be quite a nice alternative to DayZ, I think. I've sunk a lot of hours into DayZ, and it's certainly one of the games that's really grabbed me the most. The audio, the graphics, the team play, the chance encounters, the huge, beautiful map. I just wish more servers in the DayZ community would play the nighttime, because it is 50% of the experience. Alright, so I don't think there's much else here. Not really sure where I'm going. Looks like... let's just head out over the hills here. There is a full nighttime cycle. There is a full weather system in here, including thunder and lightning, which was removed from DayZ. I can remember when it used to be in. You could see the flash of lightning in the distance, as in like armor. And they removed it because the lower spec PCs and the consoles, it was causing issues. So again, the PC master race is not always the best, as we suffer as well from people who don't want to invest as much, so we say, into the PC gaming. But as you can see, the graphics here are really quite beautiful, and I know that YouTube is going to butcher these graphics, but I can tell you now, these are just as immersive as DayZ's are, and in their own way, the graphics have definitely got a different style to them. thought I heard something then. There are cockroaches and a certain demon type that I've seen walking around, which is their alternative, I guess you could say, to DayZ zombies. I thought I heard something up there then in the bushes. Again, I'm not really tooled up. I've only got a hammer. Sounds like something's creeping around, but there are lots of animals. I've seen squirrels, rats, you name it, pigs, all sorts in here. There is airdrops. It is very, very similar to DayZ. Now, I went onto Reddit just to have a little sniff around just to see what the community was talking about and the things that are in the game and things that people want. A lot of people have said since the last couple of updates, the game has focused more on the survival aspect and it's actually becoming slightly hardcore. So this aspect of illness and limbs and damage, all these things really, really do interest me because there was a patch out today on Reddit from the developers. They will not be putting in any further medical system with broken bones, which is a massive shame. And they have announced that there will be a DLC coming. That may be a new map. But what worries me is I get the feeling that once the DLC is out, the game is going to be dropped. Personally, that's what the discussion was on Reddit. So DayZ, the devs, I think, are going to be moving on. So it will be down to the modding community and the DayZ expansion for us to get the elements we want, such as helicopters, broken limbs, vaulting, 2 or 3 launchers, RPGs and all that. And as a tester, I will be showing you some footage of these elements as soon as we are allowed to show you. Good things are coming. So there is a zombie over on the left here. Let's just have a look around in this warehouse and I'll stop talking for a little bit and let's just have a listen to the environment audio. If you are a Miscreated player, or you're experienced, or you've even tried it, could somebody tell me? It's one of the pieces of advice that I really need to know, because this is the second time I've tried this, once for the recording, just to see how smooth it was. I can't seem to find food anywhere. And you can see my food down at the bottom right. Food and water. Water, you can inspect water from toilets and sinks and things like that, but the food, everything I find is rotten. Oh, it's dark in here. Let's just close that. Oh, that's quite awesome. Nice little chain on there. This is just awesome with the torch. Yeah, I cannot find food anywhere, whether it's a matter of going into the town, finding a sort of a grocer's or a supermarket, whether it's a... Hey, we're having that. We'll have that, lads. Whether it's a matter of going to farm areas, I'm sure once you've got your head around Miscreated, there will be areas that are a little bit like DayZ, such as when we all go to the northwest, if I can get my teeth in, northwest airfield. We know that there's going to be military gear there and a little bit of PvP action. And we know in DayZ it's quite easy to find food. This looks like the next step up, where finding food at this stage for me is way more important than getting geared up, although a backpack would be nice. Just turn that off, as I don't want other players to see the flashlight. And what we'll do is, I think before the end of this video, it'd be rude not to smash a zombie's head in. Oh, here we go, here we go, here we go! Come on then! Bring it! Oh, she's throwing stuff at me. Give it the old karate kid. Some of this. In fact, I don't know if that was bugged, but it looks like his hand turned into the Terminator. Well, he's got some binoculars on him, so we'll have them. We'll be having them bad boys. What's he got? A rock and a water jug. God, the inventory space is really little. I think just for this little video, this first part, because I'm not sure whether any of you out there are actually even interested in this title, or whether you're even going to make it this far, so death is of no consequence. Let's have a look, we'll use that. So down at the bottom right now, I presume is that blood loss? I'm down at 78% blood. And it did pop up a second ago. Sleep. So it may be that we have to sleep in this game as well. That would be awesome. If this became a really hardcore game, like the next step up from DayZ, then I probably will be doing some more. But if you've made it this far, let's test my subscribers to see whether they've made it this far. I want you to type in the comments box the word snowflake. And that way I'll know you made it here at nearly 16 minutes in. I'll know whether you actually made it here. Because according to analytics in YouTube, most people only watch my videos for a minute, which is heartbreaking. But anyway, as you can see, the lighting effects in this game are really rather good. Food! Food! We need some food! Nails. Nails is probably for base building. In fact, you know what? If it gets to the point where some of my subscribers actually enjoy this content and want to see me play some more, maybe, just maybe, we could play the game as I did in the DayZ series, where we start from scratch, literally a brand new play. Well, this is actually kind of brand new. I'm just testing the buttons here. Hey up, mate. How you doing? Up yours. Right, there we go. Then maybe, just maybe, I could play as a new player, and that'll give new players coming in the experience, and we both learn together. Now, I'm going to guess and say that this down here is a player-made base, because there's no way that would be stuck out here for no reason. Wow, that's must have taken some building. Can we go down here and have a look? Let's have a look into the dark. You are starting to feel sick. Right, well, as you can see down at the bottom right now, is that stamina at 70? Sleep, I need to go to sleep. 31% of me needs to go to sleep. 59 fluid, 64 food, 87 blood. And it looks like there is a death symbol and a bleeding symbol, so I don't know why I'm at... Oh my god, am I bleeding? Oh shit, I've got blood coming out of my arm. Why am I bleeding? Why am I bleeding? Can I put that into rags? You see, this is where this is where DayZ comes in, doesn't it? Let's get some fluid in us. Can we eat anything else? Have I got anything else? Why can I not rip that shirt? You'd think I'd be able to put the shirt... Right, now, can I... Oh, you see, this is where you think it's like DayZ. Oh, shit, look, I'm actually bleeding on the floor. Right, well, I wanted to cut the shirt up and turn it into rags, but it doesn't look like it's going to let me. And the screen, YouTube now, this is going to look like absolute turd, but on my screen, it's all gone fuzzy and pixelated. And we've got the blood symbol around the outside. As you can see, my blood's down at 74, so we are losing blood quite quickly here. We need to get up ahead and see if we can find somewhere. Well, I haven't added that sound effect. I also found a hat on the way up to this bridge. I saw this neon light, but what I've quickly discovered is that when people... Look at the size of this base these lads are building. They've even got a furnace here. These lads... you can actually put your own signage in the game and your own flags. So that's what that neon sign is. As you can see, these guys have built a huge base. I have no idea what these gnomes are either. I keep seeing these gnomes around. I've even seen a silver one. I'm throwing up. I'm shitting myself. I'm vomiting. And my blood is down to... What are we down to? 12% blood. I can see a light up ahead. I can see the light. I'll be seeing the light permanently if I don't hurry up. Oh, we're down to 10%. I desperately need to find some clothes that I can rip up. Oh, God. I think it's going to be game over, lads. Get that box ready. Box of demons. Picked up a helmet basic kit. Well, that's no good for us. I've not got gonorrhea. Don't need my helmet fixing. Right. God, I tell you what, lads. If there's no medical stuff or t-shirts in here, we are absolutely bazonkered. And there is no vaulting. Right, what's this in here? Oh, what's this? It's a vending machine. Give me some bandages. Oh, sweet baby Jesus.